Good afternoon. This is the world news on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. I am Ibrahim Onigbinde. Here are the top stories. President Tinubu meets with former head of state Abdulsalam Abubakar, ECOWAS president over Niger coup. UK charges former Nigeria Petroleum Minister Dizzani Alison Madueke to court over £100,000 bribe. In business, federal government plans CNG at 250 naira per litre for mass transit buses. On the foreign scene, former Thailand Prime Minister taken to hospital just hours after being jailed. In sports, Tobi Amusan into 100 meters hurdles semis at World Athletics Championship. Details of this are more coming up shortly. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday met with the president of the Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS Commission, Omar Traore, and former head of state Abdulsalam Abubakar at the Aso Villa, Abuja. The National Security Advisor to the President, Nuhu Ribadu, was also in the meeting held to discuss the coup in Niger Republic. Abdulsalam had led ECOWAS delegation to Niger over the weekend for final negotiation for a return of power to the post President Mohamed Bazoum. Abdulsalam briefed President Tinubu in his capacity as ECOWAS chairperson on the details of the meeting with the junta leaders. After the meeting with the president, the former military leader expressed hope that the diplomacy will help resolve the political situation in Niger Republic without a recourse to the use of military option. Away from that, President Bola Tinubu has directed the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of National Identity Management Commission (NIMC), Aliyu Abubakar Aziz, to commence a 90-day pre-retirement leave. The leave, which takes effect from August 24, 2023, would lead to the retirement from service on November 24, 2023. In a statement issued by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajiri Ngelale, President Tinubu also approved the appointment of Bisoye Koka Odushote to serve as the Acting Director General of NIMC. The United Kingdom government has charged Nigerian former Minister of Petroleum Resources Dizzani Alison Madueke to court over an alleged £100,000 bribe. The UK's National Crime Agency said they suspected Dizzani had accepted bribe in return for awarding multi-million pounds oil and gas contract. In a statement published on its website on Tuesday, the National Crime Agency said Dizzani will appear at Westminster Magistrate Court on October 2 for the case. In March this year, the agency also provided evidence to the US Department of Justice that enabled them to recover assets totaling $53.1 million linked to Dizzani alleged corruption. Wife of the president, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, has assured Nigerians that the administration of President Bola Tinubu means well for the country despite the hardship being experienced as a result of the removal of petrol subsidy. Mrs. Tinubu told Nigerians to look beyond the present situation in the country and see the bigger picture, which has light at the end of the tunnel. She stated this when she received wives of the Service Chief and the Inspector General of Police, led by the wife of the Chief of Defense Staff and President's Defense and Police Wives Association, Mrs. Ogogo Musa. The First Lady said that the administration of President Tinubu is doing everything possible to ensure that it cautions the effect of the fuel subsidy removal, adding that Nigerians would begin to reap the fruit of the effort when the gains of the policy begin to materialize. The federal government said it would deploy more technology as opposed to every reliance on the human element in the protection of the country's vast borders. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji Ojo disclosed this on Tuesday at the news conference in Abuja. The minister, who had earlier assumed duties on Monday, said he would work with the Nigerian Immigration Service to remove all passport processing related bottlenecks, I beg your pardon. The event had in attendance the head of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Nigeria Correctional Service, the Federal Fire Service, and the Nigeria Immigration Service. Moving on, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has arrested 13 suspected railway vandals with large quantities of long grains and sleepers worth 800 million naira. The suspects were paraded alongside 5 trucks conveying the large quantities of vandalized rails and sleepers at the NSCDC headquarters Abuja on Tuesday. The NSCDC National Public Relations Officer Babawale Afolabi during the parade said that the suspects were arrested by the Commandant General Special Intelligence Squad. Afolabi said that the arrest took place around Mankhok area in Kaura local government area, Zonkwa area in Zango, Qatar, local government area, and Kafasha area in Jama local government area, all in Kaduna State. It disclosed that upon arrest, the NSCDC operatives were offered a huge sum, but they refused to accept the proposed bribe. The Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria has issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to meet its demand for face industrial disharmony. The association made this known in a communique issued on Tuesday at the end of its extraordinary National Executive Council meeting, which held virtually. The communique was signed by the President Dr. Victor Makanjuola and Secretary General Dr. Yemi Raji. Part of the demand of the association include immediate review of the newly revised Commerce Circular as well as the age of retirement for the medical and dental consultants and other health workers. Suspected government have abducted 8 graduates traveling to Sokoto for the National Youth Service Corps NYSC orientation camp. The director of press at the NYSC headquarters, Eddie Megwa, confirmed that the incident on Tuesday. Megwa said that the abducted graduates were traveling at night to the designated orientation camp when the government waylaid their vehicle on outskirts of Zamfara. According to report, the victims were traveling in an Akwa Ibom transport company bus from Uyo, Akwa Ibom state capital, to Sokoto state from their 1-year national service when the incident happened. You are listening to the world news on Al-IyamoyeTv and radio. Still to come, business, foreign and sports. Welcome back to the rest of the news. In business and economy news, President Bola Tinubu is projecting a cost of 250 naira per litre for compressed natural gas. This is in a bid to make mass transportation more affordable. The special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngilari, disclosed this during a television interview on Tuesday. He noted the move was part of the President Tinubu's very important presidential compressed natural gas initiative. The Small-Scale Women Farmers Organization of Nigeria has urged the federal government for inclusion in a palliative measure being distributed across the country. The president of the female farmers, Mary Afan, at the press briefing in Abuja on Tuesday said smallholder farmers had been forced to reduce the size of their farmland due to the high cost of inputs and transportation. She appealed to the federal government to provide immediate palliative measures, improve seed and farm input for dry season farming, among others. On the foreign scene, the African Union has announced the suspension of Niger Republic from all its activities until power is relinquished to ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. The AU announced the suspension in a statement released on Tuesday, while reiterating calls from the military junta to release Bazoum and return to the barracks. The AU also called on its member states and the international community to refrain from any action that could legitimate the junta recall that the West African bloc, ECOWAS, had announced the deployment of a standby force in a bid to restore constitutional democracy to Niger. Former Prime Minister Taksan Shinawatra was transferred to a hospital overnight, hours after being jailed on the series of criminal charges on his return to Thailand. The Correctional Department said in a statement that the 74-year-old had been taken to Bangkok Police Hospital in the early hours on Wednesday amid concern about his blood pressure and low blood oxygen levels. Thaksin, a billionaire who was prime minister until he was removed from the office in